Hey everyone, welcome to our new video. Meet our host, Jake.
Okay, let's just jump right in here. The research we look at, it's actually kind of shocking. It suggests people are sizing you up, trustworthiness, confidence, all of it, in what, like the first 3 seconds?
Just from your voice?
3 seconds, yeah, it's incredibly fast. You barely get a word out. But in that tiny slice of time, your tone, your rhythm, even how you use silence, it's all communicating something about how you're feeling inside.
Exactly. So this deep dive, it isn't really about picking the perfect words. It's more about that sound, that sonic fingerprint, and how you say things. We're exploring the psychology behind it, how confidence, or lack of it, translates vocally, and, crucially, how you can manage that.
Right. The mission here is to break down how that internal state, your thoughts and feelings, becomes external sound, the pitch, the pace, the tone. And we want to show you how to handle those elements, but authentically, not like you're putting on an act or just faking it.
Okay, so 3 seconds. That means we have to start at the source, right? The mind. That's the essential first step. We absolutely have to bust that myth that sounding confident just means being loud or talking really fast. That's not it at all. Real vocal confidence starts with your mindset. It's internal first.
Which is where that sort of anxiety leak happens, isn't it? People think, okay, talk fast, get it over with, maybe sound energetic. But inside, what's really going on?
Well, if that inner voice is churning, hope I don't mess this up, or are they even listening? Your body reacts instantly. Your throat might tighten up, breathing gets shallow, and the voice just follows that anxiety. It can get shaky, maybe higher pitched, hesitant.
And you can hear that tightness as a listener. Okay, but what if someone knows they're nervous and tries to, force it the other way, speak really low and slow? Does that work?
Not usually. Forcing, it often sounds, forced, unnatural, like you're reading something cold. The voice might lack warmth. The pace feels sort of clunky. Really, the only sustainable way to calm the voice is to shift that internal script first. If you can genuinely tell yourself, okay, I know this stuff, or I have something valuable here, your whole system relaxes a bit. The tone naturally gets stronger, calmer, more grounded.
So the voice is basically just reflecting what's happening upstairs. You can't really fake the sound convincingly if the thought driving it is panic.
Precisely, yeah. The voice mirrors the mind. So once we acknowledge that, we can look outwards at the elements people hear, and tone is huge. It carries so much emotional weight.
Tone. I think of it as the emotional flavor, or maybe the secret sauce under the words. You can say, nice job, and depending on the tone, it's either genuine praise or pure sarcasm. Complete opposite meanings.
Exactly. Tone tells people if you're actually engaged, if you're bored, nervous, friendly, confident. It's the signal. And what's really fascinating, and the research confirms this strongly, is that when words and tone don't match up, people almost always trust the tone.
That's the killer insight, isn't it? So if I say, oh, I'm fine, but my voice sounds really strained or sad.
People believe the strain. They believe the emotion carried in the tone, not the literal words, I'm fine. We even saw studies looking at things like courtroom testimony. Juries apparently weigh vocal sincerity, the tone, much, much more heavily than the factual content itself when deciding credibility. Tone is like your credibility fingerprint.
Wow. Okay. So if that's the goal, a steady, confident tone, what does that actually sound like? How do we nail that?
It needs to feel warm, but also steady and sort of open. It's finding that balance. It shouldn't be too soft or hesitant because that signals doubt, but also not too aggressive or sharp, which can actually just be masking insecurity. It's that grounded middle space. People feel it.
That idea of grounded leads us right into the next piece, using silence strategically. Pace and pauses.
Yes. This is a big one. Nervous speakers tend to rush. Why? Because silence feels uncomfortable, exposed. Rushing is like trying to run away from the spotlight. It subtly signals, I don't quite trust myself here, let me finish quickly.
But a confident speaker isn't afraid of a little silence. When you pause intentionally, it changes things. It suggests you're choosing your words carefully, that what you're about to say matters.
Absolutely. Think about really effective communicators you've heard, maybe political leaders like Obama or someone like Emma Watson giving those UN speeches. They master the pause. It's not dead air, it's strategic. It lets the last point sink in and it builds anticipation for the next. That control over silence, that signals real authority.
Yeah, it's funny. When you're the one speaking, a 3-second pause can feel like an eternity. But when you listen back or when you're the audience, it just lands as weight, gravitas.
Exactly right. That little beat lets your words breathe, gives them impact. Now, about pace overall rushing, signals anxiety, definitely. But speaking too slowly, like constantly, that can sound unnatural or even boring.
So it's not about finding one perfect speed.
No, not at all. The goal is varied pace. You naturally speed up a little when you're conveying energy or listing things, but then you strategically slow down for the really crucial points you want people to remember. That variety keeps listeners engaged and highlights what's important. Master the pause, vary the pace. Silence can be powerful.
Okay, let's connect this to the physical body now, pitch and energy, because this is where the mind-body link gets really obvious.
Oh, absolutely. Pitch is a huge indicator, often linked directly to muscle tension. When you're stressed, what happens? Muscles tense up, shoulders might creep towards your ears, breathing becomes shallow, more from the chest than the diaphragm. This constricts airflow.
And less air, tighter throat means higher pitch. That squeaky sound isn't necessarily your real voice.
That's often exactly right. It's the physical result of nerves tightening the whole system. A confident voice tends to settle into its more natural middle range, a grounded sound, and you can actually access that pretty quickly. Just consciously taking a deep breath, letting your shoulders drop, it gives your diaphragm more room to work. That better airflow supports the voice, giving it natural resonance and depth. Relax the body, and the pitch tends to settle lower, calmer, more authority.
Okay, so relaxation gives you that grounded sound.
Yeah.
But confidence isn't just calm, right? It can't be flat. It needs life.
It absolutely needs energy, yes. A confident person sounds engaged, involved. There's warmth and movement in their voice. Avoiding that monotone is key because flatness often reads as boredom or disinterest, not belief. So you need energy, but it's controlled warmth, not just loudness for loudness' sake.
This brings us to something I find really interesting, maybe even counterintuitive, this idea of perfection. So many people seem to think confidence means scrubbing out every tiny flaw, sounding perfectly polished.
And that is probably the biggest misconception. Confidence isn't about robotic perfection. It's actually about sounding connected, authentic, relatable. As listeners, we connect with genuine human beings, flaws and all, not some perfectly programmed machine.
Right. If you try too hard to hide every slight stumble or stifle a natural laugh,
Yeah,
you end up sounding stiff, distant. People can't quite connect with that.
exactly. In fact, sometimes those little imperfections, a genuine chuckle, recovering smoothly from a slight word trip, even a thoughtful pause that maybe wasn't planned, they can actually increase relatability. They show you're human. They don't necessarily detract from confidence. Sometimes they enhance it.
So confidence, at its core, is about trust. Trusting yourself enough to let your genuine self, including your passion for the topic, come through in your voice.
Yes, if you care about what you're saying, let that passion color your tone, influence your pace. That's the kind of magnetic confidence people respond to. Don't suppress the emotion, guide it. Real confidence is alive, not robotic.
You know, putting all this together, it really underscores that a confident voice isn't something you're just born with or without. Everyone has the potential for it. It's more about understanding these elements and then, well, practicing.
Absolutely. And the practice doesn't have to be daunting. Start small. One of the simplest, most effective things you can do is just record yourself speaking. Not to critique the content, but purely to listen to the delivery. How's the tone? Where are the pauses? What's the pace like?
Just listening back can be so revealing. You start to hear what you want to adjust. And you realize, okay, my voice doesn't need to be perfect like some announcer. It just needs to sound like me, but with conviction behind it.
Couldn't agree more. So let's just quickly recap those 5 key vocal areas that signal confidence, especially in those first crucial seconds. We have the settled, grounded tone, the varied pace, the strategic use of pauses, the natural middle pitch, and allowing genuine emotion and connection to come through.
If you start paying attention to those 5 things, managing them consciously, you'll project more confidence, even while you're still working on feeling it 100% inside.
Okay, so here's a challenge for you, the listener. This week, try recording just a short, maybe 30-second clip of yourself. Talk about something you're genuinely passionate about, a hobby, a project, anything. Don't script it, just talk.
And then, when you listen back, focus specifically on your tone and your pauses. Just notice them. What does confidence actually sound like when it's coming from you? Use it as your own diagnostic tool.
Right. The goal isn't to mimic someone else. It's to find the most effective, authentic version of your own voice.
So until our next deep dive, keep speaking, keep exploring your voice, and maybe ask yourself, right now, what is my voice telling the world about my internal state?